You know, math can feel like it's all about following a strict set of rules. But what if I told you it's also full of secrets? Like awesome shortcuts that can make really tough multiplication problems, well, surprisingly simple. Today, we're going to unlock two of those secrets. Okay, let's just dive right in. Take a look at this problem. 3 times 2 times 4. Now, your first instinct is probably just to go from left to right, right? And hey, that totally works. But is it always the easiest way? Here's the secret. You've got options. To really see those options, we have to think a little differently. We're not just going to follow rules blindly. Instead, imagine we're opening up a multiplication toolbox. And inside, there are these special tools that let us rearrange and reshape problems to make them way easier to handle.
All right, the first tool we're pulling out of the box is what I like to call the grouping tool. Now, its official kind of fancy name is the associative property, but grouping tool is perfect because it tells you exactly what it does.
So what does this amazing tool do? Well, the associative property says that when you're multiplying 3 or more numbers all in a row, you can change how you group them, which ones you multiply first, and the final answer, the product, stays exactly the same. It basically puts you in control.
Let's go back to our first problem to see this thing in action. In math, those parentheses you see, they're kind of like a movie director yelling, "Action, do this part first." With the grouping tool, you get to be the director. You decide which pair of numbers gets the spotlight first.
So, we can direct this scene in two different ways. First up, let's group the 3 and the 2. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6, and then 6 times 4 gives us 24. Easy enough. But what if we move the spotlight? Let's group the 2 and the 4 this time. 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 8 is, yep, you got it, 24. Same answer, just a different path to get there.
And that's the whole point. The answer doesn't change. This tool isn't about getting a different answer. It's about giving you the power to find the path that feels easiest for your brain. It's like finding your own personal shortcut to the right answer.
Okay, time to reach back into our toolbox for another awesome gadget. This one is just as powerful. I call it the break-apart tool. Its official name, the distributive property.
Let's put this new tool to the test with a different kind of problem. How would you solve 6 times 13? I mean, come on, most of us don't have our 13 times tables memorized, right? Well, the good news is, you really don't have to.
A number like 13 can be kind of clunky and intimidating to multiply. So why even try to wrestle with it? The break-apart tool lets us do exactly what it sounds like. We break that tricky number into smaller, way friendlier pieces.
So here's the strategy. Instead of looking at 13 as this one awkward number, we can think of it as two much easier numbers added together, 10 and 3. I mean, 10 plus 3 is 13, right? We haven't changed the value at all, just the way we're looking at it.
And here's how that simple trick turns into a full solution. First, we rewrite the problem as 6 times, in parentheses, 10 plus 3. Next, we distribute that 6 to each number inside. So we do 6 times 10, which is 60, and 6 times 3, which is 18. Finally, you just add those two super simple answers together. 60 plus 18 is 78. See? We turned one hard problem into two easy ones.
Now that you've seen both tools in action, let's talk about a super common mix-up. It's really easy to get these two confused, so this little challenge is going to help make sure the difference really sticks.
So, this is Farouk. He's trying to solve the problem you see on the screen, but he's gotten a little bit tangled up in his thinking. Take a close look at his equation and what he's thinking. Can you help him figure out where he went wrong?
So, Farouk is thinking, the missing number is 5 because the associative property tells me I can break the problem into smaller chunks, so I just changed the grouping. He's using some of the right ideas, but he's definitely mixed up his tools. Do you see it?
Let's look at this side by side. The grouping tool, that's the associative one, is for when you have a long string of multiplications. The break-apart tool, the distributive one, is for when you split one number into a sum. Now look at Farouk's problem again. It's got a sum, inside parentheses. So which tool is he actually using? Ah, there it is. Farouk was using the idea of the break-apart tool, but he called it by the wrong name. His problem was basically breaking 3 times 5 into two parts, 3 times 2 plus 3 times something else. To make the total 5, that missing number has to be 3, because 2 plus 3 equals 5. Awesome catch!
Okay, let's bring it all home.
What you've just learned isn't just a couple of neat little math tricks. This is a genuine upgrade to how you can think about numbers. It's like a new math superpower.
So to recap, your multiplication toolbox is now officially stocked and ready to go. You've got the grouping tool for when you need to rearrange a string of multiplications, and you've got the break apart tool for when you need to split a tough number into a simple sum.
And look, these aren't just for tests or homework. These are real-world strategies that let you see how flexible numbers can be. They empower you to solve problems faster, more creatively, and honestly, with a whole lot more confidence.
So with these brand new tools sitting there in your toolbox ready to go, I'll leave you with one last question. What tricky problem will you solve first? Thanks for diving into this with me, and we'll see you next time.